Howdy folks, I just wanted to check in and let you know what I've been up to for the last week. It's been kind of a cool project. Remember this place? I posted it on my Instagram story maybe a few weeks ago when I was down in Virginia. And so basically I found this stack of records there that was really interesting. It's a unique stack of records, and I mean that in the way that each of these records is one of a kind. If they had been thrown away, nobody would have heard the music I'm going to play for you today. It's a one-of-a-kind thing. These discs are made by a company called Silvertone, and basically before cassette tapes were invented, this was the way that people would record themselves at home. So you didn't have cassette tapes, you didn't have digital, obviously. You would buy these blank discs, and they would go on a home lathe, and you would sing into a microphone, and it would actually carve that into the disc as you did it. And these discs don't sound great, and they usually don't have a lot of good stuff on them, but they are out there, and they are pieces of history, really, so I try to pick them up when I can. It just so happens that these have some really interesting gospel music on them. And so I've been spending the last week cleaning and digitizing all these records because, I mean, basically I want people to hear them, and also it's just a really interesting snapshot in time to a family band or a church band from 1951. So I'm going to show you the process that I took to digitize these and share some of the music. So first, I grab a disc. I make sure to clean it. I don't do a really thorough scrub. These are relatively clean, but I wet it with water and a tiny bit of dish soap, and I just get everything on there just to get any dust off, basically the top, and I clean it off with a cotton rag. I throw it on the turntable. I open Audacity, which is what I use to record audio, and I put a 78 needle on my turntable and basically hit record and listen to it.
Running every day along the way. There's a rainbow. There's a rainbow of merriment on the land.
But then some of them don't play quite the same on modern equipment, so I also have this old portable player that has a 78 needle, and sometimes I throw it on there, and it makes it sound a little bit different.
There is a place prepared for me, and I just soon be there. I'm longing now, a place to see, It is a home, so fair, so fair.
After I rip it onto the computer, I take it over, I put it in an archival sleeve, and then I put it in another archival thicker sleeve, and I write down all the information on the top of it, just so I can remember, create a paper trail, create a history for this item, since it kind of came into my hands. So I write down what equipment it was digitized with, and the song titles, and I also have a numerical code. These are Bristol Discs, so I put Bristol 08 or 09 or 10 on these, depending on which one they are. So after I do the transfer, I actually do a little bit of cleanup, because before I clean the thing up, they sound like this. So I basically just try to take out some of the major cracks and pops, take out some of the major skips, anything that kind of takes away from the listening experience. And I amplify the sound as well as compress it a little bit, and do a few other kind of small scale things to make it just a bit more listenable, while still keeping the sound, the actual music, more or less the same. And so after I clean it up, it sounds like this.
There's a place of peace and love, heavenly joy, gladly sweet, blessed happy place for me prepared for.
So the major thing we get from all this is that a piece of history that would otherwise have not been heard can now be heard. And I have, I think, 39 total tracks from all this. I think at least 30 of those are solid songs. Some of them are people talking or bad takes. And it's just really interesting. I'd like to release them at some point. I have them digitally, but I still want to do a bit more cleanup. But I just think this is a really special thing. And hopefully I'll get to send it out to all you so everyone can hear it. Although I would like to possibly track down the family, or find if we can figure out who these people were. The only information I really have is from this one label that says it was recorded on June 11th, 1951 by Estol, Geneva, Pop, Estol, and Marge. So, if you want to be an internet sleuth, I am pretty sure these were recorded either in southwest Virginia or eastern Tennessee, although I'm not completely sure. I'd love to track down the people who made these or their relatives or their, next of kin or whatever. So thanks for listening. If you know these people or happen to know anybody with these names or know a family or live in the area or have any information, please feel free to get a hold of me via DM or host@dollarcountry.org is my email. So thanks so much.